And let's see if we can make this work because it does not look like it is. There it is. Hey, welcome to the September 26th edition. This is season 5, episode 21 of Tuesday with Todd. And we're going to give a little update. First off, we are headed into some red on some storms. I wasn't sure when it was going to be here, and it looks like it's going to hit just about any minute now. So if we lose out on it, we're going to lose out on it. Maybe we might have to revisit this one because this looks like a nasty for a little bit. So hopefully we can get some stuff in there. If not, we will do a part 2 later on. So we'll get right into it. This one's all about co-opetition. When you get in here, let me know who you are, where you're from, what's in the cup, if you got something in your cup, how the weather is. We're getting hammered here. I got a Celsius. We're going to get into it. We're talking co-opetition tonight. What does that mean? Co-opetition, that seems like a weird word, right? Have you heard that word before? I mean, if you've listened to me for any amount of time for the last couple of years, you have heard me say co-opetition. And co-opetition, it's it refers to that, like working with businesses that you both, where we cooperate together, but we compete against each other at the same time, right? So they're our competition, but we're working with them. Does that make sense? That's what it is. We might all bid on the same jobs, but maybe there's a job that they do and that a job that you do. So even though you lose out on the job, you still get part of it. So the main reason is that this allows you to both benefit from it, right? They're able to benefit from it. You're able to benefit from it. It's a good way to leverage your strengths against your weaknesses, right? What are you really good at and what do you suck at? Can you find somebody where it's the flip-flop, where they're really good at what you suck at and they suck at what you're good at? So you can work together on that. So in kind of that nutshell terms, that's what co-opetition means to me. And we're going to talk about some different ways that we can do that you can do it in your business. And we'll go from there. Like I said, we're going to try, and this might be a speed round tonight. But I want your comments in here. I want you to make sure to get your questions in so that way we can talk about this and see how you feel on things, where you're at with it. What's up, Chuck? Good afternoon to you. Renee, greetings from 73 Chicagoland, water and bottle. Yeah, it's starting to storm here, so I bet it's headed your way probably about midnight. Jerry, hello to you. Rye, what's going on, my man? Little rain there in St. Louis. Yeah, it's hitting us now too. Bay Area out there, 1 gallon of water, 70 degrees and windy. And Barb, hello from North Central, beautiful 68 degrees. North Central Minnesota. I missed that part. Partly cloudy, light breeze. Nice having the windows open again. I think we're kind of the family where we don't keep the windows open. 1, there's too many noises outside and the dogs freak out. 2, there's so much pollen in the air that keeping them closed and just let it filter through here. That makes for happy campers here. Happy campers. So first up, co-opetition. Who here currently has something like this set up? Are you working with somebody who's your competition to also produce other things? We will, and we'll always do that. We work with screen printers, we work with embroiderers, we work with laser engravers, we work with people that provide services that we don't, and we can provide a service that they don't. Our biggest thing is on the DTF printed side. The next one that follows that up is our sign and banners, things like that. When we talk with our screen printers, they may not offer that, so that's where we're able to offer it for them. And the way that it works is you're basically, for me, this is the way it works for me. So I'm not saying, this is the perfect way to do it. This is the best way to do it. This is how we do it. So this is where, if you already are doing it, we'd love to hear how you're doing it. But we sell things at wholesale rates, so that way they're able to make money off of it, and then they're able to sell it for a profit, and it goes down the lane that way. So we're making a little piece of the pie. I'm a fat guy. I don't need to eat that whole pie. If I can just get a piece of it, I get enough pieces of those pies, then I get the full pie. And that's where I think it really works. It comes down to, you don't have to do everything, right? Is there a business that is better at something than you? We have here locally, and I'm sure you do in your area as well, trophy shops. That's all they do. It's just trophy shops. Well, if that's something that I want to offer, can I reach out to them and be like, hey, I want to be able to offer trophies to our sports clubs that we're already doing. Is there any way that we can work together? Do you need anything on the print side? Do you need anything this? How can we mutually benefit this? So I'm just not buying from you, but you're also buying from me, so that helps out everybody across the board. So, that's how, in those short-term things, how you can do it. And then when you get into some of these other ones, they can be very contractual. This is how we're going to do it. We're working together on project. We're putting things together. So it could be something like shared resources, where you're going to collaborate with them. And you're going to share resources. Maybe it's equipment or production space or labor. What it does is it reduces the cost for both of you. So you're both able to get more out of it without spending as much, right? You're able to save some money, so you're able to do that. Maybe it allows you to, expand your market, right? So, partnering with your competitors, may open up this whole new market for you. It gives us this access to something that you didn't think was possible, or something that you hadn't thought of before, because that wasn't your niche, right? Your niche, whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's not your thing. So maybe by combining resources, hey, now you can, collectively together, we're gonna take this over, right? Maybe they need to build up this part of their business and they suck at marketing and you're awesome at marketing. You're like, listen, I want to pump this through here. What kind of rate can you give me on this? Because then they're making something, you're making something. So how can you work together to do that? And then maybe it's something, a mixed media thing. Maybe it's some kind of, product innovation or something. You're collaborating together. You got these ideas. Think on something like any of the mixed media stuff, like embroidery and sublimation, embroidery and DTF, laser and UV print. What are some things that you could collaborate on? So, you're both putting equal parts into it. You both get equal things out of it. It helps both of you. So whether that's some kind of a decoration technique, designs. Maybe it's a way that designs are set up. I just had a meeting with somebody yesterday, and here's the design that we want. And it's rhinestones. And while you can do it for a shirt, they want that same rhinestone on a cup. That's not happening. When you're taking a rhinestone design, one, you're not shrinking it down like that. It just doesn't work that way. So you're to say, hey, this isn't working. We need to figure out a way to make this work, because it just can't happen. So you're sharing that knowledge with them. Yeah, we can do this part. You can do that part with it. So it does help. It does help to both of you know what's going on. Because together, the main goal is for this to be a good product. If it's a good product, both of you succeed in it. So it helps working there. The other thing is cost reduction, right? Think about this. Like, if I want to do, let's go laser engraving. I have a laser engraver. I haven't turned it on in a couple of years, but I don't have the skill set or the time currently to devote to that. And it does. It needs somebody that knows what they're doing to spend the time to go over it with it. Which, if you work with somebody who's a laser engraver, Renee, that can provide amazing stuff like this, from our good friends over there at 3330. Oh, Custom Designs. Like, hey, listen, all my embroidery I'm going to send, or all my laser work I want to send through you, because it's not something I want to offer, but it's not something I do. Is there anything that I can do for you? Well, hey, Renee doesn't do DTF, so hey, when the situation calls for it, we're able to help her out in that. So together, we're working together. We're both getting something out of it. We're both giving something into it. So how can we help each other out? When I need to bid jobs, there's a big job that came in that I'm like, I don't know, is this something that we're able to pull off and do? So she got me a quote and we sent it in. We are in the next round, so we're still waiting to hear on it. But things like that, once we can get timelines on things, firm timelines, firm prices, firm things like that, how long, what can we sell it for? Hey, can we just market this and do this? Like our next thing is we've got somebody that's doing, patches, and to do patches on hats. So, hey, if we can kind of work a deal where we can make a couple bucks a hat, and then they can do it there, and we can sell, 24 hats and really not have to do anything, it works out pretty damn nice that way. I'm telling you, you can really get into it. Let's check and see what we got here for comments so far. Barb says, yes, I work with others who offer services I cannot. They reciprocate. Yep, exactly. That's what we do, right? You work together. You do things I don't do. I do things you don't do. How can we help this out? And Barb says, I'm all about networking with other businesses for collaboration. For me, it's been a win-win. For us, we've been burned on some. It's been great on others. We've got a couple handfuls of people that we print for locally on DTF. We've got a couple shops that have DTF printers that when they're overflow or when they go down, they reach out to us and we fill in for them. So we do our best to, provide the quality and service to them, so that way we know it. And we bid the same jobs. They know it here. Yep, here's what we have for it. We bring a unique thing to the market for both of us. And I don't look at it like, hey, I don't care if I ever lose a job to somebody local. Doesn't bother me at all. If we bid stuff and somebody local wins it, great. The money is staying here. So they didn't go with me for whatever reason. Could be price, could be turnaround, could be they don't like me, whatever. but the money's staying here locally to another company. Now, when they start going outside the area, that's when I have issues with it, where it's like, hey, oh, we're a community-based thing, but we're not spending the money with the community. That's when I have issues with things. But yes, having that that togetherness, to help each other out, because you never know when you could be in a bind and need somebody. That's why, no matter how bad things get with people, I don't talk bad about other businesses. I say, hey, you go find out for yourself. Not everybody is everybody's cup of tea. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I'm fine with that. You either love me or hate me, indecisive, whatever. You purchase from me, great. If you don't, that's great too. But I'm not going to openly talk about when there is a bad business decision or a bad business or somebody that isn't great to work for. It just openly, I'm just not going to do that. I'm not going to shine a bad light on somebody, because what if down the road something comes up and I really need something? That's the only place that can help me out. I burnt that bridge, so it's not hurting me. So why should I put anything out there like that? See, like this. I embroider, sublimate, laser, looking for a DTF person. I do DTF. We ship out hundreds of feet a day. Just saying. But locally, yeah, if you can find somebody local to do it, that saves you on shipping, right? So if somebody's locally do that and be like, hey, can you need anything on sublimation? Do you need anything, laser? Do you need anything embroidery? How can we work together on it? It totally makes sense for it. T-Down says, I almost missed this. Sorry, I'm late. 65 and rainy-ish. Nothing to drink right now. I still got my sparkling berry Celsius, and I can hear Garth Brooks out there because the thunder is rolling. It's rolling, and it's looking orange to black. So it is going to storm here very, very shortly. Rachel says, good afternoon from Fresno, California, with a high of 82 today. Thank you. I got my DTF order yesterday. Woo! Rachel got her order yesterday. I love when people get their orders. I should start making you guys, hey, post a picture of it in the group. Show it off. That's how people know that we have stuff. Show it off. Tag me. I'm gonna make up new stickers and put it on all of that so everybody can see that and be like, hey, go here, please do that. Please do that for us. And it helps us out. Okay. So what we said? Did we say cost reduction? Or it can help on that. You can put in money towards something. Like say we're running an ad. Like Renee decides, she got a smoking deal on tumblers and she wants to run a tumbler thing. And she's like, hey, what do you think about, putting some money behind this and going here? I got this thing. I want to push more. You want to push more. Can we work together and make some ads for this and get it out there? Yeah. What can we do? How can we work together? Because the more that I sell, the more that she sells. Works out like that. So it lowers that overall cost for it. Another thing, those learning opportunities, right? Like we know that I am not an embroiderer. Nope, not embroidered. Never will claim to be an embroiderer, but I want to know as much about it as possible. I want to know that I'm sending, designs that make sense. I want to know when something doesn't work the right way. Oh, the rain just started. So hopefully everything stays on. Like I said, if we have a glitch and we drop out, then we will continue this part 2 some other time. But I want to learn the process because some things just aren't going to work embroidered. When somebody gives you, text that's this big and they expect it's just not going to happen, So to have a better understanding of how that works, how you can do it, you become a better business owner yourself because you're able to help them out by providing them with the best, it is bad. I can hear that. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but it is rocking out there right now. Holy smokes. But you're able to learn a new part to it. You get a better understanding of what works, doesn't work, how it fits better this way or that way. When you can make it easier for them, they can make it easier for you. So, those learning opportunities to become better at it. You add another tool to your toolbox. Holy smokes. The other thing is you can really reduce your risk by doing this because, you're not messing with those supply chains. You're not trying to order stuff. You're not trying to do that. You're going through somebody else who is already taking care of that for you. Here's what I have. Here's what I can offer. Here's how I can do it. You're going to pass it through. It just works. It just works well that way. You're not going to have as much downtime when you're trying to learn that new product because it's the time in the process. It's the product that you're going to ruin. You're going to ruin stuff. The stuff that isn't going to come out right, that is okay, but not okay. It's a learning curve. So you don't have to go through all that learning curve when you work with somebody because they've already done that for you. The other thing is the strengths. Like I said, when you can find somebody who is really awesome at one thing and you're really awesome at one thing, maybe together, both of you can be super awesome at one thing. it's hailing. I thought it was sounding crazy out there.
Man just pulled up out here too. I'm like, oh, we just said so.
Yeah, it's crazy. I can hear it hailing out there. I heard it and I'm like, whoa, that's nuts. Yeah, if you're good at something and I'm good at something, hey, let's work together and both be good at something. Let's be great. Let's be great together. We can become more well-rounded to our customers. We seem more knowledgeable. We seem more professional. So how can we do that? The other thing is, that you're increasing that bargaining power. So how does that work? Well, hey, if you look at me as I'm a salesman for you and we have some quotas and this is what we're going to hit, then maybe you were just right on the edge of going to that next tier pricing. But now that you have somebody else that's basically selling for you, that bumps you up. So now your cost comes down. You're going to pass the savings because you're working together because they got there. So it really, you have more of that bargaining power, compared to somebody else who just might be doing it on their own. So there's a lot of pros and cons to it, but the biggest pro is you're able to offer things that you don't normally offer. And that to me is something that can really expand your business really fast because you don't have to go through the learning stages of that equipment, of that process, of ruining things because somebody else has already done that for you. So it makes it pretty simple to do it. I can't stress enough that when you can work together with people, it just helps out all the way around the board. Let's see. Renee said, I'm your DTF guy, or you're my DTF guy. Thanks. I'm your DTF guy. I love it. Did I already hit that one? Oh, yeah, I think I did already hit that one. Yeah, because it's all there. I love outsourcing. Show me the money. Absolutely. Show me the money all day, every day, especially on Sunday when I'm not working. I really love seeing the money on Sunday when I'm not working. So, what are some, kind of examples that you can do, in that co-opetition side of things? All right. Can you guys partner to run like some kind of joint marketing campaign? Can you, co-promote like a theme? So let's say, I'm the apparel guy and you're the laser guy, laser gal, right? Okay. So maybe we can do a shirt and a tumbler, same logo on both of them. And we're going to put them together. And so this allows both of our businesses to push the same product and help each other out. We're pushing the same product, same price, everything's in there. We can split the marketing on it, but both of us is getting something out of it. We're getting the shirts, somebody else is getting there. We're both able to offer those products, so we're able to do that. Something else is maybe that shared production space. Maybe if you and your competitor, kind of have that complementary, those peak production times, when things are just crazy, is there a way that maybe you can share some space? Do we have some overflow? Can we get more space for less money? Now, this is where it can get a little sticky because, hey, remember I did this and it didn't work out. We're still trying to figure things out, because it's, at the end of the day, it could be a $250,000 hit. We don't know. We'll just have to see how all the chips lie. But that's what you have to do is make sure that everything is in place beforehand because, going into something like a retail space or here, hey, like this, we need some space, but we don't need a lot of space. You need some space, but not a lot of space. What if we come together and then we can both get more space for the same money? That's an opportunity to look at. Like I said, in those bulk purchases, hey, if I'm ordering this and you're ordering that and you're ordering this, hey, do you think, if we order a little together, does that put us in a different pricing tier? Are we able to now, increase our buying power because we're buying more and getting a different, different price? The cross promotion on social media, that's a great one there. Are you able to, promote each other's Facebook posts or, your Instagram posts or any of their other content? You're going to share each other's work. You're going to showcase those projects that you work together on. Maybe even run a joint giveaway. Hey, we're going to give away a tumbler and a cup. Something to promote both of you to do because it's going to increase your engagement. It should increase your reach. And when you do that on social media platforms, people are going to see you more, right? So a nice little easy way to do it. And then, like I said before, that skill and knowledge sharing, are you going to learn something from somebody who didn't, are you going to both take something away from it? Now, I've worked with partnerships in the past where it was very one-sided, and it wasn't until after the fact I said, "I'm never again. We're not going to do that. We need to make sure that, we're getting the same amount out of it as we're in it." When you're helping people put the best foot forward, and it's very one-sided, very needed, then you're like, "Hey, well, what do I get back out of this in return?" You kind of have to realize that you need to make sure that you're getting stuff You both are getting something out of that. It's not a one-sided thing when it comes to that knowledge sharing, the skill sharing. Because both of you have expertises in different areas. So hopefully you can pick up a little from each other. If the thing is to grow together, then you're going to help each other out. But if somebody wants to go their own way and not really want to join in, then that's never going to work out that way. So you're going to want to have to keep an eye on some of that stuff. So let's check back in and see if we've got any more. Yeah, FU. Yeah, that's right. FU Facebook user. Brian said, "This is easier for me if they're not if they're not located within 50 miles of me." Well, what about the one right down the street? You work with them, right? You send them all your onesie twosies. What do you do for them? Do you do their big orders for them? I mean, that's literally down the road. That was the parking lot. I'm like, is this the right place? No, that's not even the right name. You're just right down the road. But so maybe, Brian, so maybe it can be. Maybe it is for you. Did I click that? I did click that to show it for you. I did click that. Maybe not. Tell me more, Brian. Tell me more on how that would work for you. So we kind of know what the co-opetition is. We should know what it is. We've kind of got some examples on how it works, there. But how do we find these, right? How do we approach these other businesses, that are in our same industry, to get it there? Well, it creates, that fine line, right? Because we don't want them to feel like we're trying to steal any customers from them. Because believe it or not, it seems like every apparel decorator thinks that. Once you start talking about, you're just here to steal my customers. Listen, if you're trying to steal my customers and my customers leave me, they're never my customers in the first place, so knock yourself out. If they are not buying from me before the service that we provide, the people that we are, and the product that we sell, then it doesn't matter to me. They're going based on just price. That's fine. It is what it is. So it's not that, to me, it's not there. We want to establish those long-term relationships with it. So, when it comes to doing this, you want to research those potential partners. I mean, it's not hard, right? You're going to want to, check out their Facebook stuff, check out their Instagram stuff, check out the reviews, see what it is. Do their values align with yours? Do their clientele? Is that a clientele that you want to work with? When you go through and you see a company where maybe all of their stuff is their Etsy shop and it's all, copyrighted things. Do you want to be associated with that? Probably not. So probably wouldn't want to reach out to them. But maybe you see, they're really big into the band side of things, right? And like concert T-shirts, things like that, local bands. And that's nothing that you have any experience with. Hey, how can we work together? I see you're really big into this. That's something that I think we could partner on to be able to help. Here's a product that I have that would offer it. How can we do that? So, you want to, identify those businesses that are complementary to yours, and have that similar target audience. And it's tough because a lot of them in yours are direct competitors. That's where you want to see all the processes that they do. Is there a process that they are not currently offering that you do? So can you fill that void for them? And in turn, is there a process that they do that you're not? So that way they can fill that void for you. So together you can do it. You're gonna identify, who they are, who your competitors are in your area, the processes that they do, the ones that they don't. If you're able to do it, you're going to research their reputations, their values, their business practice, anything that you can on them to figure out first off if it's even a right fit for you to work with them. Because if it's not, then there's no reason to go any farther than that, right? So, all right, cool, we found somebody. So what do we do? Well, we're going to reach out, and see what we can do. You can call them. You can reach out through, slide in their DMs. You can send them emails. However you want to do it. Stop in there. The first thing you're going to do is you want to start that conversation, by expressing your interest in it, right? Hey, I want to collaborate with you. Here's the potential benefits for both of us, because I'm going to sell you on how this makes sense for both of us. How can we both get something out of it, right? That's what we're going to do. And that's where it comes into that value, proposition. Hey, we need to clearly establish, what we bring to their table, and how, working together can benefit their business, right? How can it benefit them? We know how they can benefit us, and we want to sell us on how we can benefit them as well. So you're really going to emphasize, those mutual gains. Maybe there's some cost savings here. We can expand some customer reach, access to new markets, whatever it is. What are they going to get out of it as well? What's the value the value in it. And hey, what are some other things that that are going to come up is those boundaries and expectations. You need to be transparent about your goals. You need to be transparent about your expectations, and we need to be transparent about what are the areas that we want to collaborate in, right? And at the end of this, we wanted to find those crystal clear boundaries so that we want to make sure both of our interests are protected, right? We don't want to think that they're trying to steal customers from us. We don't want them to think we're trying to steal customers from them. We're trying to build a partnership and working together, which this is where it comes down to. You might have to come up with that, that formal agreement. You might need to, here's a formal proposal outlining everything that this collaboration, all the specifics, the roles that each of us are going to do, the responsibilities, the timelines, anything financially, who's contributing what, who's not. You need to put that in there, which the biggest thing with this is going to be that open communication. If you're trying to work with somebody, then when you have to mutually trust them, right? If you don't trust them or feel they don't trust you, then why are you doing this? Like, you just want to work. You just want to have your stuff there. So you want to make sure, that it's somebody that you have the mutual trust with, that you both have a clear understanding of what the benefits are. We need this to be essential when we're approaching, another business for that co-opetition. You're like, hey, here's what we can do. Here's what we expect of you. Here's what we're not going to do. Here's what to expect, But with that, we've got to be prepared to adapt and compromise if things don't always go as planned. That's just part of it. What is our plan B, our plan C, our plan F? It all happens all of the time. Do I have any more comments? They send you nothing. They send you nothing? Have you asked them? Have you went down there and be like, hey, yo, you realize that here's our cost on this, we can do it for this, and you can make a buck a shirt and not have to do anything? There you go, Brian. I just did it for you. You want me to stop in next time in town, go sell them, be like, hey, why don't you just be a salesperson for us? You guys can handle all the low stuff. We'll give you a percentage on each sale, and you just do that. Let's do it. All right, let's do it. I'll come down there. A business contract is important for both parties involved. Absolutely, Barb. 100%. Because if there's nothing formally written up, that can put both parties in a world of hurt if it goes south. Right? If there's nothing formally that says you're responsible for this, you're responsible for this, I'm responsible for this, I'm responsible for this, and it goes south, guess what? Both of you are responsible for it. So it doesn't matter. It's if it was 100%, it's 50% one person, 50% another person. Now, maybe when you talked, it was, hey, well, we're going to do 20% of the work. You're going to do 80% of the work. We're going to do 80% of the marketing. You're going to do 20% of the marketing. We're going to pay 40% of the bill. You're going to pay 60% of it. And that's how it is. But then it all falls apart. Nothing was written out. Both of you on hook 50%. So you need to make sure that you have those written out when it comes to working on things like this. Scam likely. Get out of here. Get out of here, scammers. Something just popped up and I need to make it go away. Oh, there it is. There. I was like, what's going on? Why is this one there? So now, okay, we've figured out who we want to, we've got the idea in our head of, here's some things that we think that we can do good to help your business, and here's some things that we know you do good that can help our business. So how can we do this? Well, we can reach out to them by email. You could reach out to them by text. Do that cold calling, right? Or maybe you just stop by for a visit, So, what does it look like? Cold calling. Does anybody still cold call? I don't like being on the phone. So cold calling is not my forte at all. But I don't mind going in and stopping to see people, right? Or maybe sending them a text or something like that. So, it's going to be just how does it feel for you? Like, how do you make yourself, because you want to make sure that you express who you are, what you do, be professional in it. You don't want to have that robotic tone with it. You want it, if you're going to write something, you want it to be really about you, So don't start an email. I hope this email finds you well. That one is one of the weirdest ones that I get. As soon as I see that, I don't even finish reading it. But maybe it's something like, hey, I hope you're having an awesome day. I'm Todd. The fat guy behind Fat Dad Custom Designs. I can't even speak right. And hey, we're because we're in the apparel decoration business, and we would like to offer some of your services, and we think we could be a good fit for you. I went ahead and I scoped you out a little. I checked out your Instagram, I checked out your Facebook, I checked out your Google reviews, and dude, I am impressed by the stuff that you offer and what people have to say about you. Here's something I'm thinking, right? I believe that great minds come together. Amazing things can happen, like legit. We can blow the roof off this. So what would you say if maybe we joined forces and maybe explored some co-opetition ideas, maybe some possibilities to work together on some projects to be beneficial to both you and me, and really disrupt the way things are being done? Is that something you'd be interested in? Well, hey, let's chat. Let's set up time. When are you available? Can we get you on a call? I'm open on Thursday at 2. Would that work for you? Maybe that's just what you do. You give them that. Here's a link to my Calendly. Get on the calendar. Let's get a call. Come up with a nice email script like that. Something simple, easy. Nothing too crazy. You're not trying to, win them over right there. We're just trying to get our foot in the door. That's what we're trying to do. Or maybe some kind of text. Especially if it's one that you've already communicated with. You have their number, right? You have their contacts. Reach out to them. Hey, it's Todd, Fat Dad. Yo, I see that you're doing this. We're following along. It's kind of that same thing. I've got this idea that I'd like to run by you about possibly working together on some projects. Is this something that you'd be interested in? Can we chat and brainstorm? Is there something a time that works for you to come in there? I can stop in here. Here's the time. Did that work? It doesn't have to be anything there. Cold calling, dude. Like I said, I'm not a cold caller. Are any of you a cold caller? Are any of you a cold caller? Barb said a business. Yeah, we already got that one. Lavinia, hello to you. And Brian says, I actually have a customer that starts his email with, I hope this correspondence finds you and your family well. It cracks me up every time. Every time I see that stuff, I'm like, okay, scammer, do you need 600 Gildan shirts? Is that what you're trying to do? You need 600 Gildan shirts? This is what you're trying to get me for, because that's how those all start, right? You need 600 Gildan shirts. And yeah, that's how that rolls with there. But, maybe, in person, right? Like, hey, you got to go in there. You got to present yourself. Hey, I was just stopping by. I've been totally stalking your social media things. I love what you're doing, lasering this cups. And it's something that I'd really love to be able to offer our customers. Now, going through your site, I saw that you weren't doing anything with apparel decoration. That's what we specialize in. What do you think? Is there any way that we could kind of work together on some projects? I'd love to put together a project where we're doing a shirt and a tumbler together. So I get to sell a shirt. I get to sell one of your tumblers. You could do the same. We both mutually benefit off this. What do you think? Does that sound good to you? Great. When do we start? So you're just coming up with some ideas, putting some things together, going there talking, starting that conversation, and how it is beneficial to both of you to do, because that's the key. If they haven't done anything before, maybe they've had a bad experience with it. Maybe, it just isn't the greatest for them. How do I get it there? Because you're going to run into stuff. You're going to run into those things, we're competition. Like, how does this work? And you're going to be open. You're going to tell me, that you understand that they have some concerns about competition. But, with co-opetition, that doesn't mean that you're going to give me your trade secrets or compromising your competitive edge. You're not going to tell me your settings of everything that you do. It's all about finding those areas where I don't excel at and you do. And is there an area where I can help you grow even more? So it benefits both of us without either one of us sacrificing, our strengths and our identities. It's just partnerships. That's all we got to do. And the other thing is you're going to hear, when it comes down to, hearing that no, or they're like, just like, I don't know, what can we do? I'm kind of hesitant about it. Hey, you're going to explain to them, with co-opetition, we've got a couple options, right? It doesn't, it can help both of us grow our business. It can have both of us achieve, have access to new markets we didn't have before this partnership. It can have both of us increase our brand visibility. And then, with that, it should lead to opportunities for us both to have growth mutually, right? We can explore this further and see how it aligns. And we can just do it on a project by project thing, right? And some of them you might run into it where, they don't want that hard nosed, this is what we're going to do, right? This is what we're going to do. This is how it is for it. We're going to set a term for this project and that. Some don't want that. They want to have that flexibility. It doesn't have to be an all or nothing commitment. Like I said, it starts with those small projects. Like here, I'm going to do a shirt and a tumbler, right? You do tumbler, I do shirt. We're going to create a package for it. That's what we're going to do. We're going to do it together. And that way we can, evaluate, here's, did it work for you? Did it work for me? Is there something you want to change? What didn't you like? What did you like? We'll start with the one project, see how that goes, and then go on from there. That's all you're going to do. You're just going to give it a shot. Now, you're going to have these people too that have had, maybe some bad stories or some bad things that have happened to them before trying to work through this. And so you need to, be ready to show that maybe you've worked with some other people in the past. Things have been great. You're going to tell them that you understand that, they're kind of, I don't know about this. Well, hey, what sells you better than selling some success stories, right? So if you've worked with people in the past, get reviews from them. People love to see those real people reviews, right? If there's ways to, in that business, to show, hey, we've joined forces with an embroiderer because we don't do embroidery, and these are the things that we put together. I can take a drink. I'm getting a little parched there. So was it like you? I'm the apparel guy. We're doing a cup and tumbler. My brother, I did I did a shirt and a hat, right? So we did a shirt and a hat. There was a logo on the hat, logo on the shirt. This is what we did. Here's how we ran it. Here's the results of both of us. So you can show, hey, we worked with somebody else. This is how this worked. We'd like to do the same thing with you. And if you don't have one right off the start, well, you don't have one right off the start. But as it goes on, you're going to be able to do it. The biggest thing that you're going to run to is, what's this going to cost me? What are the risks? People are always concerned about the risks of things. But when it comes to co-opetition, you can kind of look at it as you can share the risks. Both people are in charge of their own things, so there are no risks. When you start that up, you're collaborating and you can collectively address any issues that might come up. Okay, so are we doing any marketing with this? Well, if it's a 1-to-1, for every is going to equal one shirt, so we're both in on this. Okay, can we do a 50-50? We're going to do an ad spend on it. We're going to do this. Because if you're not in it 50-50, then one person, let's say we run an ad for it, and we're dropping, $150 a day on ads, but the other person isn't dropping anything. Well, then all of ours goes to it. Their business goes up because we're getting all these orders coming. They didn't have to do anything for it. So you say, hey, this is what we spend. This is what we're going to get. You want to split it with us. So you have to think about that too. If you're going to do anything, you're the one outputting. They're the ones that are benefiting. Is there a way there? And this is all in that, talk about it. Have those open conversations about how things are going to work, what we see, what we don't see. If you don't see it, that kind of throws it off. But what they may not have thought of. Think together, what mutually benefits both of you, and then you'll be able to go from there. Biggest thing with any of it is just listen to them and address any problems that they have. It's not going to be a great fit for everybody. It's going to be a good fit for most. But the key idea is you finding, people that you want to work with, that they want to work with you, that together you can both mutually grow your stuff. Now, I went through that super, super quick because I didn't want to run through the storm. And it is still rocking and rolling out there. So I'm going to see what questions, comments, concerns we have. If not, we'll get out of here in like the next 5 minutes. And yeah, look at there. Brian, do you love cold calling new customers? One, I know I need to do more of it, but I've never been a good cold caller. Even back in my cell phone days, I absolutely hated cold calling. I love having appointment setters set stuff up and going out and talk to them and explaining and killing it that way. But we had a thing where we had to have, 50? There was one day a week where we'd have to work in the office and we couldn't go home until we had 50 calls. I think it was 50 calls. And that's what it was, is here's your phone book. Here's what you're going through. Here's your thing. Here's your thing. Here's your thing. There was 3 of us. And yeah, I did not. I just never been good at it. And I could probably get better at it. I got to learn, but we're getting to the place with our business where I want to do more with other businesses. So I want to do more than what we currently are doing, but I'm happy with what we're currently doing because I'm to the point now where anything more is going to mean having to hire people, and that's where things get really sketchy at for us. And Facebook users, Alex from Newport. I don't know if it's a New England thing. I'm trying to do this the last 3 months as I'm building a lifestyle brand, and I know eventually I can't do it all. Maybe I approach them wrong, and it could be. What are you trying, Alex? What are you trying to do? Like, how are you approaching them? What value are you bringing to them, and what are you asking in return? So let's start with there. What are you bringing to them, and what are you asking for in return? So maybe that can help with it. Now, Tuesday with Todd, we've been doing pretty good about hitting this every Tuesday for the last couple of weeks now. Next week, Tuesday with Todd, I got to go back because I know there's a conversation that somebody had asked about, and I said, "Ooh, that would make a great topic for Tuesday with Todd." So we'll look at that. I think it was on a morning mindset last Wednesday or Wednesday or Friday that somebody said it. So I'll have to go back and listen to find that information on it. But we can definitely, once we find that, we'll know what that one is. Remember, we do go live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8:30 a.m. right here in the same bat channel. You can go to fatdadlive.com. That'll get you into the YouTube side of things while you're there. Make sure to like, subscribe, do all that when we go live so that way you catch it. Remember, when you show up there tomorrow or any Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'm going to bring you a list of 5 things that you want that you're going to get done for the day. What are 5 things you're going to accomplish for the day? You're going to tell us where you are, what the weather's like what's in your cup. We do that every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So while we're sitting here waiting for Alex, does anybody else have anything? Like I said, I'm going to try and cut a little short because as I see more and more storms coming through there. Thank you for that. By the way, what's the story on the 100 Million Leads group? Right there. Talk to Brian. I sent Brian. Brian, I replied to you, didn't I? I think I replied to you. I'm going to set that up. He said, I want to get Brian in. Oh, look. You want a sneak peek? Ooh, T-Town. All right. So, do you remember which one was which? Was that? We'll have to go back and look. Was that the one that had the one that we just put on right before it? Because this one does look like it is coming off a little. But remember, there was one that we had on that we took off a couple times. So I wonder if that was the one that we took off a couple times. So we'll look in the morning. We'll look in the morning and see how it is. But so far, so good. We'll see how that works for it. Wait, because that was down here. Can't wait to see those stories. Can't wait to see those stickers. So yes, we're figuring that out. Like I said, the link's in there. I started to read through it, and I realized that I couldn't comprehend keeping focused on reading it. So I went ahead and got the audiobook too, so I can do both of them. And I think I'm through chapter 5 right now. I got through enough of it where I know I need to go back and get 100 million offers, the first one, because going through it, I had some concerns on like, how does this play out? How does this work? So I think what we need to do is start with $1 million offers and then go into this. If anybody's read it, let me know how that works out and let me see if that works for you. Ordered Rolo and labels you're using links. Yeah, I love that. So I made like 40 cents. Thanks, Barb, for supporting the cause. I think you put on a good one. I think you put the good one on as the last one. So this one. If not, we'll put more on tomorrow and add some remember to go through it. I'll rewatch it. I'll rewatch it after here. Perfect. All right. Let's see what's there. Alex, was there anything else? Alex asked that question, but they didn't put any more. I was just told today from a customer I need to work on my stickers. What do they tell you need to work on your stickers for? Let's talk about that tomorrow morning, T-Town. What are we talking about on your stickers tomorrow for it? All right, we're going to get out of here. Remember, if you have any questions, make sure to leave them in the comments. We'll get back to those. We'll put them out there tomorrow morning, 8:30 a.m. If it's working, I'm ordering printers. Yeah, awesome. Finished offers today, and it changes how leads. So should we go offers and then leads, Brian? Since you've done both offers then leads, so that way I have a better understanding of stuff. Yep, I'll be tinning, but you got it. Perfect. So yeah, we'll look at those stickers again tomorrow. You'll be great on it. Everything you're gonna be like, hey, why not? Go for it. All right. You guys have an amazing night. We're gonna get out of here while this is still getting crazy and nothing blows up. We'll be back tomorrow morning, for a morning mindset, which we do every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. So you guys have an amazing night. Peace, love, press on. We will see you guys next time.